I had an accident. Somebody rear-ended me while I was at a stoplight and bloody from the face. And so from my first interaction with you, I know you listened. I think you were really cared about my general, overall well-being. I had to focus on getting better. I had to focus on healing. I had to focus on, recovering the missed time from work and things like that. So having you step in to do those things for me was a huge burden lifted off of me.
Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course.
So you are a long-term friend of mine. I had a case with you. Thanks for jumping on a call with me today. What was the problem you had before hiring my firm?
Well, generally, people are leery of attorneys, but I was referred to you. I had an accident. Somebody rear-ended me while I was at a stoplight. And, it was really the carelessness of the driver and just he just didn't care. It was a big mess. I was bloody from the face. He rear-ended me, didn't come out of his car. We pulled over into a parking lot. Anyway, it was a big ordeal. And so from my first interaction with you, I know you listened to what had happened in the case, in the accident. And it was more than just that you listened. I think you were really cared about my general, overall well-being, not just the unrealistic restitution, but to truly heal, emotionally. It's a big deal when somebody, especially a female, has that big old, facial injury.
Yeah, that can be pretty scary, and long term, you don't know what's going to result, right? So thanks for the compliments and allowing my firm to help you out with the process. Why did you choose our firm over others?
Refer to you. And from the moment that I engaged with you, the facilitation of the workflow, not just with you, but with your team, that's how I work. Just rapid. From a client perspective, because I deal with clients too, it was just fast. There was no nonsense. It wasn't like you were upselling, really just engaged. And also breaking down legal complexities when you're dealing with insurance on the, outside of employee benefits, more property casualty kind of stuff. So I could clearly understand that. Just building a professional safety net. I think that's a really great way to say it is I would never hesitate to refer you because of that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, our team is very good and very communicative and responsive. So I know they excel and pride themselves on that. What kind of work did we do for you to help make your experience a lot more seamless?
Really remove myself from dealing with the person who hit me and their insurance company, because that's very stressful when you're already I had to focus on getting better. I had to focus on healing. I had to focus on, recovering the missed time from work and things like that. So having you step in to do those things for me was a huge burden lifted off of me. I'm a single mom where I was working a part-time job, which I could not do because of the way I looked, and I was working a full-time job and I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't handle the stress and like I said, the complexities of it all. You can't navigate that stuff on your own.
Yeah, there's not usually a primer on how to deal with insurance claims your first time around. So it's nice to have a specialist help you out along the way. As a result of my team's work, what was the outcome for your case?
Amazing. I really think it's kind of scary for people because, there's often a preconceived notion or a stigma about ambulance chasing, and that's not at all what it was about. It was about fairness, restitution that was reasonable. Because even today, you probably can't see it, but, I have to draw my eyebrow on. Now it just looks like a wrinkle.
I got plenty of those. Don't you worry.
But I really believe that it was fair. I needed that financial restitution to just recoup, obviously damages to my car, which, my body and my face was worse off than my car, tell you the truth. But there were impacts to that. Financial impacts, not just missing work, but even though you have medical insurance, you still have to pay copays. You still have some level of benefit that's coming out of pocket. And it wasn't just immediate, 3 months of this and you're done. I still have to buy, eyebrow liner every, this is a long-term effect. So I felt like it was fair for both parties. I don't think you were asking for any unrealistic or pie in the sky.
I'm sorry you had to go through all that, and hopefully, everything turned out well. And I know that there were some residual effects, but you look like you did when you came, before you came to our office. So I think everything has. How has this result impacted your life?
It's changed my perception of attorneys in this scope. I can't say I would lean on any other attorney other than you, and so much that I've referred only you for people who are in my circumstances, who have experienced things. So that's priority, I think, for your industry. There is a hesitation for people to reach out. Like, people have a sense of, oh, I don't want to take advantage of the situation. And it's really not. It's not taking advantage. There are costs in which you were helpful in navigating, like I said, the potential costs and just the recovery of it all. It's necessary. And I don't think if somebody had a champion for them that they would go down this route. I think they would just settle with the insurance company and cheat themselves, of better health care. And that's not just emotional, mental, physical. It's a whole, like I said, a scope. A whole prism of what needs to happen when somebody's, because you have a fear of driving, then that kind of gets instilled. I couldn't teach my son to drive because I was panicked, and I'm panicked when he's out on the road. It's little things like that you don't really think about at that time. But so for that, I'm always grateful because I think if something happens, I have Logan.
Yeah, there's a lot of intangibles, and you highlighted quite a few. There's lots of attorneys to choose from, some unsavory, so it's nice to have someone in your back pocket when you're in a situation you don't want to be in and you find yourself not too well versed. I think the one thing I really like that you highlighted was that people are scared because they feel like they might be taking advantage of the system, and that's the reason people have insurance, to account for their mistakes and to make sure that you are made whole. And people that go unrepresented get taken advantage of by the insurance companies and will settle for peanuts on top of the dollar and don't get a just and fair response. So thank you for highlighting those.
Yes, of course. I believe that too.
Last question. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I mean, at the end of the day, you just understood the challenges before me, and you did a phenomenal job of just managing expectations. And like I said, broke down certain complexities, and great team. Team was involved. They kept me updated. They kept moving things forward in a very confident manner. And that's helpful because if you're already recovering, you've already been through some kind of traumatic situation, to have somebody on the other end, whether that's email, phone, meeting, if you sense any lack of confidence or lack of moving things forward, then that's just another stress that you don't need at that time where you feel very vulnerable in those moments. So kudos to you and your team, because I believe you really do a great job.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us and trusting me with your case. And say hello to your mom for me. I miss her. Have her reach out to me.
She's a nut job. Don't get on the phone with her, Logan.
You might not get off, huh?
No.
She's awesome. I appreciate you both. Thank you again.
Yeah, and you helped my friend Jess Furley, and she was really impressed by you. And that's the other thing is, because she's an executive level at my company, and had I not experienced you and felt very highly of you, I wouldn't have referred you to somebody at that level, C-suite level. So she was very impressed with you as well. We're
happy to deliver exceptional results for you both. So yeah. Thank you.